What is going on, y'all?
What's
I'm King
going on?
Mo, and I'm here with my boy Brett, aka the fake Brett Favre, aka Brett Garamella. Did I say it right?
You said it right. Yes.
Hell yeah. So, me and Brett, we met each other about, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't believe it's that long.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah, probably about 2 years ago.
And through Muslim Salikov, and we've been cool ever since, man. And he just got back from Dagestan, and we're here to discuss his trip, and we're going to talk about the cultural differences between America and Dagestan, combat sports, and we're just going to talk shop. So
Exactly.
let's
Awesome.
go ahead, man. Brett, go ahead, lead it off. Talk
Yeah,
to us,
yeah.
man. Tell me about the
Yeah, this
trip.
is awesome. So, thanks for having me on your show. Yeah, so this is a papaha, and it's the name of this particular hat from, I found this. So I went to, I guess I should start with why I went to Dagestan, why I'm interested, why I'm wearing this, and so forth. So, um, I'm a big fan of MMA. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, not a fighter, but I I tried to reach out to all the fighters to gain access because I kind of wanted to do a photo and video project. But a long story short, I ended up um, staying at Muslim Salikov's kung fu school there, which is run by Gusain and Olga Magomev, and it's in Hayamkal, which is right near Bunaksk, which is about, I'd say, like 20 to 30 minutes from Mahachkala, which is the capital. So I was staying at that school, and then the principal of that school is from a town called Hunza. And she's like, "Oh, you got to go there. We'll show you around. It's beautiful. And we'll take like a day trip there, right?" So I was staying at the school, but we took like a day trip. That was one of the day trips I did. So we drove through the mountains, through these tunnels, like, and beautiful scenery and rivers and lakes and all these different beautiful nature everywhere. And then we get to this town, and we climb to like this top of this like sort of cliff overlooking the valley and the mountains. And there's like this little wooden cabin there, and there's nothing else. This is like kind of like this, just this wooden cabin, and it's a place that people visit because it's like uh, there's some beautiful rock formations and other things there. And so we go in this little cabin, and then in this cabin is like all of these hats, and then the big jackets for like the mountain people, the gorets. They call them gorets, is like the people who live in the mountains. And I
Real
was
quick,
just
real
looking
quick.
around, and I saw this one. I was like, "Oh, I got to try that on."
Isn't Goretz the name of a former? That was the name of an MMA gym there in
Yeah, so that
Dagestan.
was the name of the gym. Actually, I went to that gym, and they gave me this shirt. They were super awesome there. Uh, this gym right here, you can see this is the letter G,
Hmm.
and not just for Garamella, for Goritz. And it's like fire on this side with an octagon, and then on this side it is iceberg. It's ice. So it's a pretty cool shirt. They kind of wear this when they train. And yeah, so that's that. Goritz is kind of like the name for someone who like lives in the mountains.
Mm.
And just for your audience, Dagestan is about 50% mountains. So it's about the size of New Hampshire and Vermont combined. So if you combine Vermont and New Hampshire and put about 3 to 3.5 million people there, that's basically gives you a perspective for Americans what Dagestan's like. And where was I going with that? Yeah, so I walked in this shop, and I just saw all this Goretz clothing, or mountaineer type, traditional mountaineer uh, clothes, and made of lamb or sheep wool. And I just tried it on, and I was like, man, this is awesome.
So how's the altitude up there? Was it pretty high up there? Were you struggling to breathe or?
um, so honestly, not too bad for. for some reason. I don't know why. It's high, but it's not high like I don't think it's as high as if you go to like Pakistan or like China, Pakistan, Nepal. It's not like that, like the
Mhm.
Himalayas or something like that, but it is pretty high. I didn't go to the southernmost part, which is near the Azerbaijan and
Mhm.
Georgia border, because
Mhm.
down there the mountains are a little higher, but like where I was, it still was pretty high. No, for some reason I don't remember ever being like tired or winded. Maybe it's because like the fresh mountain air or like the food was so awesome. So, everything's fresh. So, Dagestan is also like the place where the rest of Russia, where like people from Moscow, St. Petersburg, they want like the best beef, they get that from Dagestan,
Mhm.
right? If they want like the best, kind of like the best food is from Dagestan because of all the farmers and because everything is it's not processed. It's like it's like going back in time and people farm the old way. So they don't
But their
have all the
tomatoes are delicious.
oh man, tomato
Their
amazing.
tomatoes, I just like,
Amazing.
man, their tomatoes are so damn good.
The tomatoes, the so if you love apricots, Dagestan is like it's like the number one place in the world for apricots. Um Tomatoes, walnuts, like you go to a Dagestani store, in our store we see like a few different walnuts, right? Dagestani store, it's not even in a package. It's like in a bin, like above your head, piled up, and all against the wall for like the whole wall is all different walnuts or all different apricots. So it's like the amount of food that's there is it's insane. It's like yeah, they're never gonna go hungry. Maybe they always say like the Dagestani superpower is their food.
Were there any times that you faced culture shock? Because look, let's be real, you're from the South, right? You're a Southern guy.
Well, no, I grew up in Connecticut,
Okay,
but
okay.
I was living in Texas. Now I'm currently actually in Florida, but um I enjoy warmer weather better. But yeah, I grew up in Connecticut, but there's a lot of reasons why I don't live in Connecticut now. But yeah, in terms of culture shock,
Like I know, it's a very Muslim area. Islam is the main religion there that's practiced. Were there any times did you go to the mosque? Did you go to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
heard the call for prayer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever
You know,
take
that's a good question. I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking about what we're going to talk about today, and long story short, the first time I left the country was when I was 16. I was in high school in Danbury, Connecticut, which is like the home of Glover Teixeira and Alex Pereira, if no one knows about it. That's where I grew up. And I went to my mom was friends with this German Egyptologist. So he taught Egyptology at the University of Munich. And my parents had gotten divorced, and my mom was like, "Hey, do you want to go during your spring break? Do you want to go to Egypt?" And I was like, "Okay." I was a sophomore in high school, so I was like, "Okay." I didn't. Sounds cool. So we stayed in Cairo for that whole week, and we went around. We went inside the mosque, and that was like my first time, outside the country, seeing like a being immersed in a different culture like that. So I definitely had like culture shock and just everything about it. Like we would get into the taxi and I would sit in the front and my mom would have to sit in the back and things like that. And so since then I've traveled a lot. I just want to give you a little context.
Mhm.
I've traveled a lot. So I've been to about 20 countries. Um, but yeah, nothing is I don't think I've ever been to a place like Dagestan. So there was, I would say, a little bit of culture shock, but also I had spent a lot of time reading about it. Like had a bunch of books. I was reading this book about it, kind of like the
Mhm.
history of the Caucasus region. This was a good book I was reading, um, and some other articles just to like learn about it. Um, but yeah, I there were definitely some, I would say, some culture shock, but not, I don't think shock is the right word. I think like um culture culture surprise.
Mm.
Like it was good because I like it was something I wasn't expecting, but it was like amazing. So like the
The people.
hospitality was amazing. The camaraderie was
Mm.
unexpected but amazing. And like the brotherhood, the respect for your elders, like a lot of different things I didn't, I guess it was kind of shocking if you want to use that word culture shock, but to me it was more like a pleasant surprise.
So two questions for you, right?
Yeah.
Are there any customs that you saw there that you want that you are going to bring back and bring back to America that you're going to take for yourself? And
Uh-huh.
also, did the kids, because you know they're kids, I know you stood out.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
get any weird looks? Were people looking at you different? Did people ask you what were you doing there? Or go ahead, talk to us. Tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, that's a good question. So man, I'm gonna have to take off this hat because it's it gets really hot. I was like, start sweating here. Um, yeah, so the I guess in terms of the so what was the question again? So
So, any
were
customs that you like, for instance, like
oh, that'll bring back, that'll bring back.
yes, you bring
Yes,
back
yes, yes, yes.
that you're gonna take for yourself. Be like, you know what, I'm gonna incorporate this into my life. And then, were there any times you got any weird looks from people, and people ask you, "Hey, what do you do? You're American. What are you doing in Dagestan?" You know, did people ask you any questions? You know, or were you
Yeah, yeah,
questioned?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a good. I got a funny story actually. I think I don't know if you heard this from Muslim, but um the first thing is I would say the thing I brought back most was like was being they took me in without even knowing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't even know me. Uh Vladimir, who was like my translator, he met me at the airport, and Gusain and Tagir, who are
Mm-hmm.
both kung fu masters,
Mm-hmm.
they met me. I arrived at that airport at 2 a.m. in the morning because it was the only flight that I could get. And when I arrived, I'm like, I don't even know if they're going to show up. You know, am I going to make it through customs? I have all these questions in my head because, you know, the conflict with Ukraine and I'm American. I don't know anyone there. Like, I had a letter from the school. So that was, that really helped me, obviously. But I didn't know for sure what was going to happen. And those guys showed up at 2:30 in the morning at the airport waiting for me. And so that was like my first kind of shock. I was like, I can't believe all of you came here, you know?
Yeah.
2:30, like I'm a complete stranger. Like I'm no one special. I'm just an ordinary dude. And you guys, yeah, I traveled a long way. Took forever to get here, but like I don't know, that was such like a nice gesture. It was unbelievable. And like and then it was they're it's like 2 hour drive or hour and a half, 2 hour drive to where they are to their to the school in the mountains. So it's a long drive. It's a long trip. So we get back there, it's man, it must have been like 4:35 in the morning. And not like, hey, this is where you're gonna stay. Nice to meet you, good night. It was like I arrived there, it's like 5 in the morning, and they're like, and let's bring out some food. Let's bring out some cake for you. Let's make you some tea.
Really?
Would you like Gusain, you know, had a drink, and like it was totally unexpected. Like who does that to like a complete stranger? It's the middle of the night. I mean, already 2:30 is extreme, but we got there. I figure we just go to bed, right? It's like 5 in the morning. What do you do at 5 in the morning? And Gusain's at the time, I think he was like 72, 73 years old. So, you know, he's a pretty old guy. He's had his whole life he's had issues with his heart. Um so to do that it was like honestly like those guys, whatever they want, like those are my people for life. Like they're amazing. That was just man, it was just incredible. And so I guess I brought back that hospitality, like
Mhm.
trying to like if someone visits me or if I'm just spending time with someone trying to be um
Go the extra mile.
go the extra mile. Yeah, like show you really care. Put down your phone, like offer them something, bring something. Like if you go to someone's house or they come over, like think about what they want, bring them a gift. Like gift giving is a big part of Dagestani culture, but like it's more like just being a kind person. You know what I mean? So it's like their kindness and their willingness to like just treat people like humans. You know what I mean? Just be a good human being. I think I brought that more of that back with me because I would say before I wouldn't have I honestly wouldn't have done what they did to me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But now
Yeah.
maybe I would. Maybe that was like taught me a lesson, even though like whatever I'm like middle aged, but like even at middle age or whatever age you are, you can learn something. So that was like a big that was like very profound, even that, you know, right from the get go, right from the jump. And then I think it's also part of a little bit the hospitality is part of Muslim culture because I told you I was in Cairo. I was in Indonesia as well. I mean those I'm trying to think of the countries that I've been to that where it was Muslim, yeah,
Islam.
predominantly Islamic, but
Yeah.
the place where I was in Indonesia wasn't. It was they were mostly Hindu, so it was or they I think they were Hindu or Buddhist. I think
Mhm.
they were Hindu. So yeah, it was just mainly Egypt and Dagestan were the two predominantly Muslim countries I've been to. And I got to say, both of those countries, people treated me like amazing.
Utmost respect.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
I've read about it, I've heard about it that, you know, that's a part of, I think that's a part of the Muslim culture. But
Mhm.
in Dagestan, especially, this is what happens in Dagestan. It's like religion, I think, is number one, right?
Mhm.
Islam is number one. After that, number two is probably your family,
Mhm.
right? Number three is probably like fighting or MMA, being tough, right?
Yeah.
But right up there with all of those is obviously God is first, but after that is like helping other people, being
Respect and honor.
yeah, respect even during war. If someone gets lost and he's your enemy, you can he can stay with you.
Really.
If he's lost, yeah, they take you take him in. Like he
What?
can't stay with you forever, but yeah, they would take you in. So that's actually kind of like you could ask Muslim or Habib or anybody. Yeah, that's part of the Dagestani culture. So now granted they're fierce fighters in a war they're gonna kill you, but
Yeah.
like that shows how extreme or how seriously they take hospitality. Yeah.
So let's talk about, you said we talked about you mentioned they're fierce fighters.
Yes.
How many gyms did you go by? Did you have a chance to see kids or grown men or
Yes.
people training, boxing, kickboxing, grappling, wrestling? What all did you get your chance to see? And what gyms did you stop by?
Yeah, so I started off at the Five Directions of the World, which is I think it produces more uh, champions, at least kung fu champions, wushu sanda champions is the proper name for kung fu than any other place in Russia.
Hmm.
So Muslim Salikov, Zabit Magomed Sharapov, um, you know, tons of guys in Bellator, PFL, et cetera, et cetera. So the list goes on. So that school is only like 220 kids, maybe like a little over 200 kids. Not that many kids from grades, I believe fifth grade to 11th grade, 11th or 12th. I think it's 11th. So they're like I think age 11, 10 or 11 to 17, around those ages. So that's not a lot of kids, right? They obviously they a lot of kids apply, but they only let a few amount. So that was an amazing school. They teach taekwondo, they teach wushu sanda. Really, the only thing that's stopping that school being from really like being the complete mixed martial artist is they don't really teach too much ground game there. They don't, but stand up, like anyone coming out of that school is going to kick your ass. Like everyone fights like Zabit or Muslim, pretty much the
So
whole school.
the name of that gym is Five Directions.
Yeah, five directions of the world because it's like, because he's kind of like a spiritual guy, Magomed, Hussein,
You say.
the leader of that, and that was Muslim's original coach.
Mhm.
So it's like, the four directions of the world, and the fifth direction is like a spiritual direction. It's from
Mm.
above. So
So
that's
north,
kind of
south, east, west, and then above.
exactly. So that's kind of like five directions of the world.
Interesting. So what about the next gym? Like, I know you went
Yeah,
to a
yeah, yeah.
plethora of
So
gyms.
that was
So
the first place I stayed at, and they let me stay there. I stayed in a house with Gusain there. Like, let me stay with him in his house, which is insane. In like, um, so I stayed with him there, and then I met Muslim at that school, and then his friend, I stayed at his friend's apartment in Mahachkala.
mm,
I stayed in Mahachkala for the next 2 weeks,
you missed
and
it.
then I visited Universal Fighters, which is like number one Smash Factory school. Met Ankalaev there. Met some other fighters from PFL, Bellator, etc.
Mm.
That train there. So that's like one of the top jiu-jitsu grappling gyms in Dagestan. It's called UF Universal Fighter.
I think maybe
Um,
you see Rizvan. I used to train a guy named Rizvan Kunayev, who's a heavyweight. He fought Curtis Blades in
uh,
Azerbaijan. He
yes, I
trains.
know who you're talking about. I'm not sure if I saw him
Yeah, he's
or
a
if I
beast.
yeah, or if I knew who he was at the time. There's like so many good fighters there. It's insane. And the gym is packed. All the
Really?
gyms are packed. So that was the gym I went to. I went to the one I told you about, Goretz, which was like the
Mhm.
most like old school Rocky style, and that Ankalaev is part of that gym.
That's for the
Um,
heavyweights. That's the bigger guys train there, right? If I'm not mistaken.
uh, yeah, I think it's more like welterweight, light heavyweight, middleweight type guys.
Yeah,
They were playing like rugby basketball, which we could talk about if you
I
want.
love that game.
Yeah, but that gym was incredible for a photographer, just for like if you want like old school, like the way Dagestan used to be, like that gym was like had so much charm and character to it. It was incredible. And then I went to Scorpion Gym, which is kind of like up in the mountains. It's in Mahachkala, but it's like beautiful view. You could see like the whole city, and you can see the Caspian Sea, which
Mm,
is, I believe, the largest lake in the world, even
yeah.
though it's called the sea. And
What was the style there at Scorpion Gym?
Scorpion Gym was kind of, it was mainly, I saw them mainly do stand up.
And did you notice any notable fighters or any notable names or did anybody there stand out to you?
Scorpion, I know Shara Bullet trains there,
Okay,
and some others train there, but
okay.
everyone, a bunch of guys who fight in the, what is it, AKA, or not AKA, the um the Chechen League, which is a lot of killers.
ACB or ACA?
Yeah, ACA.
Yeah,
ACA and the other one. There's another one too.
it's fight
Um
night.
yeah, a lot of fighters from there fight in from Scorpion and then Brave and some of the other ones. One, I think one, two, and
Mm.
um so that was another one. That coach has been there forever. He's coached like, I can't think of his name is Zanelbek. Zanelbek.
I know
Very
back.
like in Dagestan, like everyone knows him, but like maybe
That's what's up.
in US maybe no one, people aren't familiar.
That's the third gym, right? The third gym.
That's the third gym. Then I
Okay.
went to let me try to think what other gyms I went to. Then we went to like some smaller gyms where Muslim trained at, just like normal
Hmm.
gyms.
Hmm.
And then I went to the Nurmagomedov school.
Okay, okay.
but that was the only place where I really couldn't. I guess it's because,
Record.
like, Habib, Islam, they're like kind of like superstars now.
Mhm.
You sort of got to get permission. You got to get permission to do photography or video there. That was the only place where I wasn't, I didn't get access to do that.
What'd you see there? How was that? How was that in comparison to the other gyms?
To
More
the gyms, it
graduated
was
or
it was definitely like the most modern, the most, I mean, it's practically brand new because they built it, when they built it, I think it was 2020, 2019, something like this. It
mm-hmm.
opened up, or 2021. So it's only like 4, 5, 6 years old. It's not many years old. The Abdul Manap gym,
Yeah, yeah.
did they
And
dedicate that to
rest in
Habib's
peace.
dad?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to him.
Hmm.
Respect to him. I mean, if it wasn't for him, that gym would not be there, no doubt about that.
Hmm.
Um, and we can come back to that. I want to come back to Abdul Manap in a little bit. But yeah, so I go in there, I gotta put on these, like, what do you call them? Like, I didn't take off my shoes. I put on it was a machine that puts a wrap around your shoe.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. Keep it clean."
Hmm.
So I was there and I'm walking down and I see Umar Nurmagomedov just training. And here's another thing I didn't tell you. So I went there in like the middle of March. It was Ramadan. So the
Mm.
first, I want to say almost the first 2 weeks, or no, like the first 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks I was there were during Ramadan.
So you're observing Ramadan with them.
Yes, so we're having the iftar at night,
Okay. Yeah, okay.
getting together and eating
Eight.
together, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So that maybe that's too, Ramadan, everyone's also on like their best behavior, and they're also like everyone gathers every night because they've been fasting during the day and they all eat together. So it
Hmm.
was it was almost like in comparison to the US, it's like getting together for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So like every night is Thanksgiving dinner basically.
Yeah.
So it's like Thanksgiving for like 3 weeks straight. So it's pretty sweet.
That's gym four. That's the fourth gym or fourth gym.
That's the fourth gym. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Umar's there. He's training. So I'm not. I didn't want to get in trouble. I want to like follow all the rules because hey, this is not my country. I want to, and I want to respect everyone's culture and whatever they go by. That's one thing
Mhm.
I try to do when I go to any country, basically. Um, so they're like, "Oh, you can't take pictures." So I never took them with my phone or anything. I was no photos, no nothing from that school because I wanted to honor that, obviously. And so at that school, I was just watching Umar train, like
Mhm.
and this was after Ramadan. So I went there from like it was like 8:30, and he
Mhm.
was training to like 10 or 10:30 at night, like for 2 hours. And picture like you don't eat during the day, so they're training all day. Then they go to eat at night, right? Together, right after sundown. And
Mhm.
then he went back to the gym that night to train. So that shows you like how
The
dedicated they really are,
discipline.
how
Okay.
disciplined. Yes.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the gym. It's like 10 o'clock, 10:30. He's been training. Like I've been watching him like sparring, kicking for like, must have kicked for like an hour straight, like insane. I'm like,
Yeah.
jeez. Um, and he comes out of the ring and like soaking, dripping, sweating. And I was just there talking. I was just sitting down talking to another guy. Um, and now I think about it, I don't even know how I was talking because like I try to study Russian, but my Russian's like really terrible. And I was probably showing pictures and like maybe using Google Translate and things like this. And Umar sat down in front of me, and then he says like, uh, "Hey, what's your name? Where you from? How did you get here?" And so then we just started talking, and he was like so polite. He's like, I remember he said to me, he's like, this is a big honor for you to be here as our guest. So, and I said, all right, well, can I take some photos here or something?
Uh,
Like, can you hook that up? And he's like, I remember he said something. He was like, "Oh, I got to talk to our manager or talk to the boss." I'm like, "Isn't your last name Nurmagomedov? Aren't you the boss?" So I was never able to like document my time there, photograph, or
Mhm.
get another invite there.
Mhm.
But I realized, this was my first trip. They didn't know me. Um, you know, I'm not like, so I'm just a normal dude. So plus I'm American, so I understand like the apprehension, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or not allowing that. So I was totally cool with that. Everyone was super nice. That school is very modern. I mean, that gym, it has like, you know, a big basketball court, then an octagon, some sparring bags, and then it has like weightlifting or like um different Nautilus and different types of equipment. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What was the process for you to get the visa? Like, how did you end up in Dagestan? What did you have to do to get there? What was the process to get to Dagestan?
Yeah,
So
that's
let
a
the
good
people know
question.
because I'm pretty sure, a lot of Americans look at Dagestan as it's Sparta, in my opinion, but it's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
respectful version of Sparta. And a lot
Yep.
of people, when they think of Dagestan, they're weary or they're scared. And to me, the Dagestanis are some of the most down to earth people. They're so humble. I haven't
Yeah.
had any bad experiences with many Dagestanis, period. But tell us, what process did you take to get there?
Yeah. And after I tell my process, I want to hear, I know, like whatever, I'm your guest on your show, but I want to hear about your time there. I know you told me a little bit about it. I think you went to Casa Yurt, right? But
Yeah, that Castle Verde, I think it's Chechnya, I believe. I was in Mahashkala. I was in
no,
Mahashkala.
Casa Yurt is Dagestan.
Okay, well, I've been to Castle Verde and Mahashkala.
In Mahashkala, the capital.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay,
love
okay.
Mahashkala. I
I,
love
I
that.
want, yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome city. There was there was a store. I was like on the fourth or fifth story
Mhm.
in that building in Mahachkala, and looking down, there was a store down there that said it's hilarious. It said Tony Montana style, and you go in there, it has like Scarface image and like all
Yeah.
like suits. It was hilarious. But anyway, so how did I get there? Do you want like the long story or like like I'll
Just
try to
like
keep it
and
brief.
I'm pretty sure you had to get a visa and then you had to talk to somebody because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's the government doesn't the U.S. government doesn't want many Americans to step foot in that region.
Yeah, recommends not going there. So, um, to keep it kind of brief, right? How did I get there? I ended up getting a letter from the school, and um, I applied for a visa. So I lived in Austin, Texas. So I drove to Houston multiple times to um, get my visa, and the it took like I think an extra week or 2 weeks. I think it took like an extra 2 weeks because it was the Caucasus region. So
Hmm.
it normally takes like X number of weeks to get a visa for Russia. And
Uh-huh.
then because it was Dagestan, it was in the Caucasus region, it took like an extra couple weeks.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I just applied. It was a lot of paperwork. It was a lot of paperwork, a lot of like figuring out how to do it. I actually went to Vegas. I was there on like kind of like a work trip, and I went to the Extreme Couture gym
Hmm.
and just to see if I could meet a Dagestani there to try to figure out how I could gain access. And I talked to Saeed Nurmagomedov, who's not related to Habib, but another guy. But he's just another fighter, UFC fighter from Dagestan. Um, but he was like, "Yeah, just come. Yeah, you should come. Come. Blah blah blah. It's all good." And but he didn't really help me with anything else. So I found an article online with this guy who had traveled to Dagestan. He was a Harvard graduate, and he traveled to he was like a freelance boxing writer.
Hmm.
And I think this was like his part-time job. It wasn't what he does full. But anyway, I emailed him, asked him about it. We got on the phone. He told me about the school, and then I was like, because I'm trying to get leads, trying to figure all this out. And he gave me the name. He's like, "Oh, I know so and so," and I'm not gonna say her name on because maybe she wants to keep it private, but like this person, call her, and she's very close to people in charge at the school. So I
Hmm.
called this woman on the phone and leave her a message. She calls me back and we start talking about the school. She knows all about it. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time there, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, oh, and so what's your relation to the school? And she's like, oh, Gusain is my dad. Gusain's the owner.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is great. So she was kind of like my liaison. So I
Hmm.
basically would reach out to her, and then she would reach out to Gusain's wife, who is
Hmm.
Olga, because Gusain doesn't really, he's not really on his phone. He doesn't really do email and all that. You know, he's old school. He's not like, he
Yeah.
doesn't do that, right? He's into martial arts and that's it. So I reached out to, it was like a back and forth, but I'm waiting and I'm not getting the main thing. So I got the visa on my own through the consulate, right? But I'm waiting for that letter from the school because I'm thinking if I don't get that letter and I show up to Dagestan, right, with nothing, and I'm saying, "Oh, I'm just here to photograph fighters," you know?
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to say to me? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
To-
So I'm waiting. I'm nervous. Like the whole month, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go. This is and like I the only one I told was like my brother, my mom, and my dad. I didn't tell anyone else, and they kind of were nervous. They were like,
yeah.
don't go," all this stuff, and I was like, well, I was like, I've been waiting to go for so long. Like I wanted to go to Dagestan since like 2017 or 16. You know,
Hmm.
it was like in the back of my mind. And even during the pandemic, I was reaching out to a lot of fighters, but like no one responded. No one like I'm not famous. Like no one knew who I am, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I gotta go. I've been wanting to go so long. I'm like, life's too short. You gotta go for it, right?
Hmm.
And a week, a week or maybe 6 days before my flight was gonna take off, I
Hmm.
got a call from Vladimir, and he's like, he was my translator. He's like, Brett, we got you the letter from the school, and it has the official stamp. And I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to Dagestan.
So did you get a chance to go by any boxing gyms or any? You see, because like I know Dagestan. I know soccer. They love soccer. They love combat sports. Did you happen to? Oh, actually, you know what? Before we go on to that, do you know
Uh-huh,
the rules? Because my first time being in Dagestan was in 2005, and
uh-huh,
they were playing the tackle basketball game with the
uh-huh,
suplexes. Do you
uh-huh.
know the rules of that game? Because I watched them play it, and I was like, "What the hell are
Yeah,
they
they call
doing?"
it rag ball or a rugby basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I honestly don't think there are. Let me get a drink of
Well, I
water.
know this. They take their shirt off. They take their shirt off before they do a suplex. I know that because I remember
Really,
seeing guys take their shirt off and they go suplex somebody. While.
dude, I don't remember that. I just remember I was just watching it, and there was like, if there's like two teams, um, if there's like 10 guys on the court, at one point there was like 8 or 9 guys on top of each other on a pile. They're piled up on top of each other in the corner. And I'm like, what the hell is this? um, yeah, so it's basically, I didn't see any rules because I played basketball in high school. So I know the rules of basketball, like double dribbling, traveling, um, oh, like, dude, just like grabbing the guy, like, not even the guy's not even involved in the play, and you're like getting him in a headlock. Like totally insane. It's the most insane thing. I guess the rules are the basic rules of MMA. Like can't kick the guy in the nuts. I didn't see the guys. I don't think there's any like kicking.
No, I didn't see any striking. I just saw a bunch
Yeah,
of
there's no
grappling.
real striking. I don't think you can really. You can push the guy. You can like push the guy away if he's like on the ball. You can like pull him off or push him or try to get him in a headlock or use any of your grappling moves. But I don't think there was any striking. I didn't see any kicking or punching. Right.
Mm.
Sometimes guys like get mad at each other and talk shit to each other, but that's normal in a basketball game, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Like, you know?
So do you plan on going? Do you plan on going back to Dagestan again? And if so, would you plan on making this like a reoccurrence? Do you want to go there every few years, or like
Yeah,
what do you?
so I went in actually it's been a while. It's March 2023 is when I went. So March and April. Um so yeah, I would like to go next year. Same time in I would like to go in March next year. Um so the reason I say March is because I would like Muslim to be there because he's kind of like my connection there to all the fighters.
Yeah.
And he's such a busy schedule. Like he travels a lot. I know he goes to like Turkey a lot. He comes to the US, trains now in Denver a lot. So
Mhm.
I think just being about during Ramadan is like everyone since it's kind of like Christmas or the New Year here.
Yeah.
So kind of like everyone gets together with family. It's kind of like this that time of year for them, for Muslims. So I kind of want to continue this photo project I've been doing, and I guess my goal is to like photograph all the fighters. I know it's kind of a crazy goal, but
Yeah.
that was kind of like my original goal. I created a website called DagestanDiaries.com.
Hmm.
So if you want to check it out, you could go there, or any listeners could go there. You can see I'm still updating it. And basically, what I'm going to do on that website is put like behind the scenes, like make a behind the scenes documentary, almost like a Netflix series, like
Hmm.
different episodes.
Yeah.
And then I'd also want to put my photos there too. So it's like a portfolio of all my photography and sort of behind the scenes videos of my experience there. And I want to include like mainly focus on MMA and wrestling. And we didn't even talk about wrestling yet because I went to
Yeah.
the Sadulayev school,
Ooh.
um, which is incredible. Um, um, so I think that would be really cool to put together because I don't think anyone's put together something like a comprehensive, in-depth, at least photography wise, of Dagestan. And I know I don't know. I just find it interesting, and I know it sort of meets my two skills, which is my love for fighting and for the Dagestani culture and people,
Mhm.
mixed with my creative side, artistic side, and my desire to photograph people. So it sort of blends those two together in a creative project. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to monetize it or anything like that, but I just think it would be good for posterity, at least doing having that, in this time in history.
So let me ask you this: do you have any interest in going to like
You want
Chechnya
to
or
go with me?
said, you know what? Like, I wouldn't mind, but the thing is, I want to go to like Dagestan, Chechnya, Kafkas, Ossetia. You know
Yo,
what I'm
that'd be
saying? Because
awesome.
like those regions are just those people there are just everyone I've met from those regions are like I train a lot of guys from Ossetia, from the Kafkas region.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those boys are studs. The Dagestanis, studs. I train a guy named Arslan. I don't know his last name, but Arslan's a heavyweight. And he
Okay.
trains with Team Habib, and he's a stud. Ruslan Kunayev, stud.
Yeah, they're all beasts.
All the Chechens, they're studs, man. And I just want to go there. I wouldn't mind learning and just exchanging ideas because I don't know everything. They know a lot, and I'm pretty sure we can exchange ideas. And I'm all about exchanging ideas and just learning. And they're some of the best competitors because in my time coming up, if I had a chance to go to Russia and compete, I'd go
Yeah.
because I knew I would learn something. And if I could beat one of those guys, I knew I was one of the best in the world. Oh, you got the blade. There you go. Tell us about that. Tell us about that blade you have right there.
Yes. So Dagestan, everyone kind of has a dagger. I got this from Gusain,
Yeah.
and I was able to bring it back to the U.S., which is insane. But the funny thing is, when I got this, he gave me a letter that said, "This is this is a replica." I'm
uh,
like, "Yeah, it's a replica. It's not a real thing, but this is in every way a real dagger." That's the hilarious part. Like, you could definitely kill someone easily with this. So, yeah, this was a gift by Gusain. Um, Muslim's coach, which
Yeah.
is like amazing, amazing gift. And it says some badass shit here too. This here is like this is a famous um this is a famous place in Dagestan, this building right here, Mo, and it's like a thousand, I think it's like over, it's like thousands of years old. It still exists there. That's that picture right here. I can't think, I think it might be in Gimri right here. And on the other side, it's written some like really like cold-blooded badass shit right here in Russian. It's like, it's like I come as I'm a cold person, but if you bring war, I will you will light the candle inside of me, or something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something like that, something
Yeah.
cold blooded,
Yeah.
and it says that right here in Russian. Um, I gotta go back because I have the translation somewhere, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Um, I got this too. They want to see some other stuff I have. This is from the Russian combat. The this one is from. This was from. It's like show and tell here. This is from the Putin put on the Russian Union of Martial Arts tournament. Muslim won this gold medal in this. This was like a kung fu or kickboxing tournament in Moscow.
Yeah.
That's what this jacket was from. This Team Russia jacket. Um, and this was a gift from Muslim, which is awesome. Um, but we didn't even talk about the Sadulayev school. We didn't talk about. I don't know how much time we have, but like
I mean, it's time. We got
we
some
got a
time.
little more. I
Yeah.
went to the Sadulayev school. I also went to like this other town where I met this guy who. This is the most insane thing. He gave me this book that he wrote. Okay, this gentleman that I visited. He's
Mhm.
like an old school, like his ancestors were generals. Like we have like mayors, right?
Mhm.
Mo, like
Yeah.
picture like the mayor in New York City, but in Dagestan, instead of like the mayor is actually like the general of the army because they were always fighting. The Dagestanis were fighting the Huns, the Mongols, the
Mhm.
Romans, like so many people trying to invade, and they were always fighting. So they were that's why Dagestanis are so tough because they were always being trying to be invaded. And so this
Yeah.
guy wrote, he researched his family lineage back to 750 AD, and he wrote an entire book about it. And he gave me the book, and on top of it, he made this chart, which is, you want to see something crazy here, Mo?
Yeah.
This guy I
So
met,
it traces back his lineage that far. It's
bro,
like a family
this
tree.
thing is like, look at this thing.
Wow. Yo, that's in depth right there.
So this started, I don't know if you can see at the top. Can you see that? Or
Yeah,
does it,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see the top. Yeah.
what year does it say?
I can't see that close because
Year.
you got it catty corner.
It's like 700. It's around 700, the year 700.
That's crazy.
Crazy. So I visited that guy. I said his house was like a museum. I don't know if I could share. Can I share links? Can I show you that? Share something here?
Yeah,
Just
I could try. I'm not sure how it works.
might be difficult. Might be difficult. I'm gonna show you something though. I just want to show you a photo of him so you get a perspective. If you go to DagestanDiaries.com, you could see it, but I just want to.
So DagestanDiaries.com. We definitely gotta plug that. Again,
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
It's
Dagestan
Dagestan,
Diary.
Dagest Diaries, DIARIES.com.
.com. Yes.
Yep.
DagestanDiaries.com. Anyway, you can see it there. You'll see photos of him, and I'm adding more photos to it. Um, Kind of slow with my edits, but um, I think it's anyway, you got to check it out. But he had the whole paraphernalia, all the traditional dress and so forth. I mean, I saw a whole dance team in Mahachkala wearing the traditional dress of the Dagestanis, and I also photographed them, which was very interesting. Um, his wife cooked us the food, and they have like their own farm there, Mo, and that food was like,
A1.
well, it was like a four-course meal. It's like the appetizer, the tea, the hors d'oeuvre, the main meal, the after meal, the dessert, it's like so
Yeah.
many courses and like everything was insane, insanely good, insanely good. So, yeah, they that food is like it's not even comparable to US. It's like on a whole different level. Um, you want to talk about the Sadulayev school? So
So Tom,
I met
yeah,
Sadulayev.
because
He's also
that
on
dude's a
there,
stud. He's a
and
stud.
so is I met Tuzudanov, who won the
Yeah,
gold medal.
another stud. Like I can't believe they train the same gym. So like Saad Alive, if you don't know it, Saad Alive, he was banned. He couldn't go to the World Championship for some reason this past year. But
Yeah,
that's
I know a little. Well, from what I don't know if I know everything, but what I heard, and I could be wrong, is they kind of like made it political or something. Or they said he was standing up, making comments about pro-Russia comments with the conflict with Ukraine or something, which he denied. And you could look in his Instagram. I've never seen anything on his social media about that. He's all about God and wrestling.
mhm.
So I think he sort of, I don't know if the Olympic Committee like framed him or like it was like a political stunt to be, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about, right?
Yeah,
Um, but he was a cool guy. He was a stand-up guy. Um, so Muslim and I went to Derbent. Do you know you know Derbent?
no, I never heard of it. No.
So Derbent is the second largest city, and it's right near the border of Azerbaijan, and it's one of the oldest cities in the world today. It's the wall that goes from the Caspian Sea all the way up to the mountains
Mhm.
is over 1,000 years old. It might be like 2,000 years old, and it's still there today. So it's like this ancient city, and it's so a lot of people go there because it's kind of like the Great Pyramid. People in Giza go to
Yeah.
the Great Pyramid because of the historical significance. So it has the history, but there's also an oligarch from Derbent, and he put a lot of money into it. So now it's got like more tourism from people from other parts of Russia. So it's a really nice city. I recommend going there. It's like really beautiful city. And so we walked around, and then I think we were on our way back from Derbent. We went to this iftar,
Hmm.
and it's like maybe like 200 people, all like jacked guys, like fighters, basically, like in one room eating, right? It's like a big ballroom. Everyone, like so much food, like food beyond beyond. And then this guy, I see this, I see this guy with a shirt on that said Sadulayev School, a jacket. It said
Hmm.
Sadulayev School, and I'm like, hmm, is that Sadulayev the wrestler?
Yeah.
you know? And I asked Muslim to talked to him, and he asked him. He said, "Yes, that's." He's like, "Oh, I teach at the Sadulayev school, and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
If you want to come, here's my contact. I'll let them know. Like, come anytime." So I got his information. I had Muslim talk to them, and then we set up a time for me to go. So I just went there,
So
and
did you get a chance to watch them wrestle? Did you get a chance to watch them train?
yes,
Like,
yes.
did you watch those two guys, the two studs, they work out together? Or how was that? Because like
Zudanoff. Well, I didn't even know he was who he
he's the
is.
man. He's
Like, I
the
didn't know he was number one in the world.
Yeah, he's number one in the world. Yeah, he's a stud.
So, but the funny thing is, Mo, this is a funny thing. I didn't photograph everyone. Like, I took one team shot, and then
Yeah.
I took a couple other photos. I took one of Sadulayev, and then I saw Tuzudanov because he had the Russian gear. I was like, oh, you look good in that Russian gear. Can I take your photo? And he's like, sure. So I photographed him, not realizing that he was going to be
The man.
the gold medalist and like
Yeah,
not just the gold medalist, he might be pound for pound number one in the world, right?
yeah, yeah. He's one. Yeah, he's like one of the like.
Right there, top three,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, he won a gold medal with and had surgery on his shoulder. His shoulder was busted, and he still won a gold medal. That's how good he is. Um, but he was 20 years old at the time, I think, maybe 19 or 20. Um, so let me tell you, the Sadulayev school was like no other gym I've been at, Mo. The other gyms, like, they work on technique, they go
Mhm.
hard, but they're looking out for their health, right?
Yeah,
So Sadulayev school is like two cats in a bag, like breaking bones, like just going, like just insane. I was just like, Muslim and I were commenting, we're like, man, what the heck is going on? What are these guys doing? It's like they've been fasting all day. It's during
yeah,
Ramadan, and they're killing each other here. It was like Olympic match. It felt like an Olympic match. It wasn't like just training. You know what I mean? Like they're slamming each other, flipping each other in the air over each other's head,
yeah.
like landing on their neck, and like I'm like, what the heck? What is going on? This is insane. And I met the coach there, Sadulayev's coach.
Yeah,
Sadulayev was injured at the time. He was just like working out his knee a little bit.
yeah.
He
I
still
heard
was in a
that.
brace.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, it was just like a humble gym. You know, you see a picture of Putin up there on the wall with Sadulayev, and
so let me ask you
honestly,
this. Let
yeah,
me ask you this though. So let's talk about the differences between the cultures, like just the combat, like just the culture in general.
yes,
For what you notice in comparison, the culture in Dagestan in comparison to the culture here in America, and also the competitive nature comparisons between the Dagestanis and the Americans from what you've seen. Because you've
yeah,
seen a lot. I've seen you with Muslim, and you've been around athletics your whole life.
yes,
You know, so tell us the difference between both the cultural differences between the culture in Dagestan and the culture in America, and then the athletic culture in Dagestan in comparison
yes,
to the athletic culture here in America.
yeah. So the first thing that's noticeable, and maybe this was when you and I were kids, it was more like this, but probably not this way anymore. But in Dagestan, you always respect your elder. For instance, if you and I are about the same age, but you were born a day before I am,
Mm,
I'm gonna show more respect to you. Like if we have something to say, if there's like a decision, I'm gonna defer to you because you're my elder.
mm,
Therefore, you have more experience, regardless of whether you're right or not.
mm,
So there's that reverence and that respect for elders. All right, that's number one part of their culture. Um, the other part of their culture, I would say, is well, they pray 5 times a day.
mm.
Like that's not like like here where people say they're religious and
Yeah.
they're in the club on Friday night and Saturday night and Sunday night they're going to church. You know, it's
Well,
not
here
like
in
that.
America, I feel like a lot of people are religious by name and not
Yes,
by action.
exactly. So for them, it's like I said, it's no joke. Like they're Muslims. You have to wash your hands,
Mhm,
your ears, your neck like this, your feet,
mhm,
and stay clean. You can't get your socks in the bottom of your socks. You have to pull up your pants, when you pray. So if you do that 5 times a day, think about it. You're always number one, you're always clean.
mhm,
And so you're it's in terms of like cleanliness, you're very clean. And number two, you always have you're repeating the scripture of God. So you have God in your heart and in the forefront of your mind.
mhm,
Like think about it and be like, no matter what you do, if you do it 5 times a day, it's going to be in your mind, right? If you're on social media like everyone is, like scrolling
yeah,
five
yeah,
times
yeah,
a day or 100 times a day,
yeah,
what's on your mind? This crap, right?
yes,
Whereas what's on their mind is, I'm not saying they're on social media too, so I'm not going to say they're not, but is that spiritual side. So I noticed that. Um, and then in terms of how they fight, like Mo, you're a wrestler, right? You well, I'll ask you, what did you notice? And this is what I guess what I saw was Dagestanis always want to take top position. They want to be in a dominant position.
Mhm.
Whereas like Brazilians, you're fine working on your back. Dagestanis, they train jujitsu too. They know how to work on their back, but they're always like, we want to be in the dominant position. We want to be winning the fight at all times.
Mhm.
Was that what you experienced too when you were in Dagestan?
Well, they're about control and dominance.
Yeah, yeah,
Like all that ground game stuff. Like they're the hammer. They're grinding you. They're punishing you. Like there's no submit. Like they're not gonna give up anything to be on their back.
exactly.
They're the hammer. You know, they're not. They're not the type of guy to be submissive and be like, all right, you. No, they fight for every damn inch. They fight everything. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I do know about the Dagestans. When you step on the mat or step in the cage with somebody from that region, you're gonna fight. It's gonna be a fight for your life. They ain't giving up nothing.
Yeah, they're not giving up anything. And I talked with Hussein a lot because we ate together, and we at night or in the morning we'd hang out, and he would talk to me, and Vladimir would translate. And I was like, well, you spent a lot of time, Hussein, at that school. He spent a lot of time in China training with Chinese kung fu masters, wushu masters, right? And like the same masters that taught Jackie Chan and some other, you know, people you might know. So why are the Chinese not as good as the Dagestanis?
Discipline. I have no idea. Honestly,
It's
this
a
is
good
system.
question, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good question. So what he told me is a couple of things. Number one is genetics. They've been fighting and genetics and warrior spirit. You really can't underestimate that because they've been fighting for like over 1,000. If you look at their history, like I was telling you before, they've been in all these wars for so long that like fighting is almost like it's ingrained in them, right? And if your parents, your grandparents, great grandparents, so forth, were fighters, they had kids who were fighters, they had kids who were fighters, and you keep going on and on like that, like at some point the weakest link, I guess, get killed, almost like survival of
yeah.
the fittest.
Survival of the
Yeah, and
fittest.
like the toughest people breed. So I think like right now it's like all that plus the culture, like everyone grows up being a wrestler or fighter, and it's part of the culture, like you have to be tough, like you have no choice, like Muslim was saying. If you're not tough, you're gonna get smashed, or you're gonna get, you're gonna kind of like, it's kind of frowned upon not to be tough. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So it's a part of their ethos, their culture, and their history, really their history, because they were on horseback, with daggers in hand,
yeah.
like fighting like this, not with guns. They were actually fighting with daggers and swords.
'Cause you know it's crazy. Ossetia, I have an Ossetian blade too. They have very great steel of iron, so they're known for iron.
Just
Iran, you go Iran, so like they have great blades in that region. I have a blade just like that from
like
Ossetia.
this one, even
Yeah.
this could stab you. This one is almost sharper than the actual dagger. It's crazy. So yeah, so I think it's that. So it's kind of like, I was like, man, the Chinese work all the time. They're like the hardest workers. They train
Mhm.
like 16 hours a day or whatever. Like they're all, so it's Dagestans do have the work ethic, but I think a lot of it is, I think the other missing components that maybe the Chinese don't have is they have that, like I said, the genetics. They have that warrior spirit,
Mhm.
and they also have, like I was saying, they have, if you believe this or not, I think it's real, a spiritual side, something from higher up that gives
Mhm.
you the energy and the power. So you're not like, I think that too, plus the food, I think is also helps, believe it or not. But I think that spiritual side where you're calm, you believe, like this is my destiny, or
Hmm.
like God has, I can put it in God's hands. Like Habib comes out like this, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I can put this in God's hands. I believe so much in God. That, to me, that relieves whether you believe in a higher power or not. That relieves a lot of the tension, and it gives you a lot of confidence and power going into the fight. And I think that does make a difference. I don't know. You're a fighter. You could tell me whether that
Well,
makes a difference or
I'm an
not.
atheist. I'm an
Okay.
atheist. So,
Okay.
but for some people, if you believe in something that strong, like
Yes.
even if you believe in your technique,
Yes.
you could be doing the improper technique, but
Yes.
if you believe in it strong enough, it
Yes.
might work. But so I'm whatever's working for them, it works for them. And I dig it.
There we go. There we go. So, it's tough to say, but like I said, I think and here's another thing. I didn't mention this. I didn't
Hmm.
mention this. And this is actually probably the most important thing. And I think I texted you this or I said this before. The biggest culture, you asked me cultural differences. This might be the biggest cultural difference between Dagestan and Russia and the United States.
Hmm.
US, we invest a lot in material possessions. Oh, I need that Gucci bag. I need that nice hat. I need the Air Jordans. I need whatever, right?
Yeah.
Dagestan is not about that. It's about number one, your word. What you say, you mean. And
Hmm.
number two, they invest in the people, not just your family, but your community. So
Hmm.
if you are good, if you're a world champion, or not, maybe if you're just a Russian champion or a local champion, after you get done fighting, you're going to help other kids in your community. And you're going to invest a lot of time. You're going to teach them the right way to do things, good values. You're not going to like give them money to this AU crap where you're just paying them for shoe
Yeah,
deals and
yeah.
all this stuff. You know what I
And I
mean?
deals, yeah.
Yeah, you're just trying to make money and you don't care what happens to the kid and you're not really, you don't have a deep care about them. So for them, it's not about the money. It's more about that person. I really care about if Mo, you're a young kid, I really care about Mo. I want to see him do well. I want to see him get the most of his ability, and I'm going to show him all the techniques and the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, and I'm going to push him hard because they don't play around. Like those practices, they go hard. They get in their ass. You know what I mean? They get on them. But at the same time, it's like after the practice done, it's like, hey, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? You need anything, I got your back. You know,
So check this out.
you're my Muslim brother.
So how about this? We're gonna end it here. We'll end it here.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think this will be the Dagestani series, and let's continue tomorrow. Because I
yeah,
know you. Because now you've been
yeah,
flowing,
yeah.
more things will pop up, and let's continue tomorrow around the same time.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
gonna yeah, because I like this because like now like I'm like I was supposed to go to Ossetia, but my visa stuff got messed up because
Yep.
I lost my passport in the mail.
Uh huh.
But I plan on going. I have a few places I want to go to. Nigeria for one, back to my homeland.
Oh, that's cool.
My family's from. I want to go
Very cool.
to. I want to go back to Russia. I want to go to Azerbaijan. But mainly, when I go to Russia, I want to go to Chechnya, Dagestan, and Ossetia because those places. Much respect to the people out there in those regions, and I love Azerbaijan. That's the place
Never
I could
been
live.
there, but I met
I love
Azerbaijani fighter.
Azerbaijan.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah, the food there is so good. The people there are so cool. It's below sea level. Yeah, so I definitely want to go back to Azerbaijan.
Oh,
I've
that's
been there a
awesome.
few times, but man, I haven't been to Dagestan and I haven't been to the Caucasus region in over 20 years.
That's crazy.
And the last time I went to, when I went to Ossetia, I mean, not Ossetia, but when I went to Azerbaijan this year, that was my first time being there in 20 years. So
Oh man.
it was so modern. So
Hold
I
on.
know,
When did you go? You went this year?
yeah, I was there this year for Rizvan's fight.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he fought Curtis
awesome.
Blaze, and he should
Yeah,
have
yeah,
won.
yeah, yeah.
He cheated him, but like every Dagestani, even there's a guy named Murad Gadarov who tried to poke my eyes out. and I used to hate him, but I ran into him last year in the American Top Team, and
Uh-huh.
we spoke, and I'm like, I'm like, we squashed beef, but it was just good seeing him, and he has a big heart, and that, just one thing like about I can say about the people in that region, the Caucasus region, is
Yes.
they're solid people,
They're solid people.
solid
That's
people.
another thing I did. I mean, I think I made that evident, but like no one I think you could trust anybody there. You know what I mean? It's like anyone you meet, they're like they have solid like I was saying, they have solid values.
Yeah,
They're solid people. They're not like weirdos or gonna be like try to screw you over. Like there might be some, but like in
yeah.
general, people are solid. Like stand up people.
So check this out. So we're gonna end it right here. But how about this? We're gonna
Okay.
start tomorrow. We'll probably start a little earlier.
Okay.
But think of all the stories. Think of everything you think of. Write it down, and then let's because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
because this
yeah,
thing is like I want to because if we can do this for like a few more days, I want to
yeah.
hear all your stories. Because like now I'm like the more I hear about you talking about Dagestan,
Yeah.
the food and the culture and the customs and the training, I'm like, man, I gotta make some moves because
Well,
man,
I think honestly tomorrow, like honestly, the most interesting story I didn't even share this story is Muslim's coach Hussein Magomed. He is the most incredible. Like that's what I'm honestly working on right now. I'm working on like I'd like to create like a short documentary about Hussein. Um, and I know Muslim holds him in very high regard, obviously,
anyone Muslim holds in high regard, I definitely know this for
but
real.
this guy is like so everyone knows Abdul Manap, right? And
Mhm.
I know we're ending, but this will only take like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Um, everyone knows Abdul Manap, right? Habib's dead.
Mhm.
But the other greatest influence I could say in Dagestan is Hussein. So you
Interesting.
have two people. It's like one everyone knows across the world because of Habib, right? In
Mhm.
Islam.
Yeah.
The other not as famous, but I would say you could make the argument of just as influential in what he's brought to it, to Dagestan,
Within Dagestan. So
within
yeah. So
Dagestan.
look, I'm gonna need you to, because I know now your brain's running. Write all that shit down. Write everything you think of. Because how about this? I know you're
Uh-huh.
gonna do a documentary on Hussein, right? How
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this? Let's do a quick preview tomorrow about. I might just let's do a quick preview on your documentary. So I know
Okay.
you can't tell everything, but just tell us like what's gonna be involved in it, and like tell us some
I guess I
stories.
could tell his story, like his upbringing.
Yeah,
I could just go about his upbringing because his
tell us about.
upbringing it's super inspirational.
Yeah,
It's one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard, and he's honestly one of the most he's one of the most special and rare human beings I've ever met in my life, and I've met a lot.
so that's somebody I need to meet. I definitely gotta
Yes,
meet.
yes. He's like yeah, he's a special guy.
Yeah,
Special guy.
yeah,
Yeah, this
man.
was cool, Mo. I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoy you got good energy, you're a good dude, and you're a stand-up guy yourself, and I enjoyed this.
yeah. No, I think I definitely want to. Because I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna
Okay.
chop it up and put clips out there, and
Okay.
then we're gonna keep. Let's do it tomorrow, and let's keep on. Anytime you have a story, you want to hit me up, just like hey,
Yeah,
because like
yeah, yeah.
I think that this is something that people should hear. People should
Okay.
learn about other cultures.
Yes.
People should know about Dagestan because for some reason, when people think of Dagestan, they think of war, they think of craziness, but it's far from that. It's a very fucking peaceful place.
Yeah, there used to be in the past because of in that region there was a lot of turbulence and so forth. They have a history of fighting and because of other I would say negative influences in that region you could say. But the people now, I mean the people all along and the people in going there now is like now it's totally safe and the people are just amazing people. The food, the culture, the people.
Yeah.
It's like it's honestly like a breath of fresh air from the U.S. It's
Yeah.
like, man, like I wish I wish we could embrace a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We didn't
but
even
here's the
talk about
thing.
like driving your car, what that's like there too. That's another one we could talk about tomorrow.
But see, here's the thing though. We're gonna talk about participants and everything, but with you. look at you're an average American, you're above
Yep.
average. The thing is that now people see
No, I'm an
you.
average dude. I'm an
No, no,
average guy.
no, 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 because an average person ain't gonna go to Dagestan.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you're above average. So the thing is, people see you and you humanize the
Yes.
region because you're a person that's been there, and
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, people can relate to you in certain ways. But
Yes,
since you
that's true.
went there and nothing happened to you, you had a good time, you ate good food, you met great people. That
Yes,
might make people want to go get out their comfort zone and take a trip there to learn about the culture of that region.
exactly. And like, I think you and I have the one thing we do have in common. Obviously, you're a million times better athlete than I am, but we do have in common is like growth mindset. For me, one of the most important thing in life is always have a growth mindset. Always like learn something new. Keep your mind open to like other cultures, the way people live. You can learn so much from people if you like put aside all the BS that
Yeah,
society or what
yeah,
other people are telling you and actually go into it and like find out for yourself what it's really like, you know?
hmm.
So,
All right, man. It's good talking
all
with you, man.
right. Yeah,
Yeah. So
likewise.
tomorrow, well, I'll let you know what time. Are you free tomorrow?
Yeah, let me know what time. I mean,
All right, yeah,
I work for myself, so I kind of like make my own schedule. So kind of like I'm always working, but then like if you wanted to meet at a certain time, I'll just
yeah.
s- put that block of time, just mark it off.
Oh yeah, we'll do it tomorrow because yeah, this is great. I didn't know we're gonna run for that long. It's been like what, an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
So I didn't
crazy.
know. Like, it don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. But you got some good stuff, man.
Well,
And
because I think we both have passion for it, and because like I could see your energy and your appreciation, and I know too. Like if you went to you would if you went to Dagestan now, like if you went to that school that I went to, I think they would like, man, you the kids would like swarm you. You would be like they would like idolize people like you because of like A because you were such a good fighter, and B because you're a solid dude, and
thank you, thank you. You're solid too, man.
I think you fit in very well in Dagestan, and they would embrace you totally if you went. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
All
but
right, man. Looking this
all right, yeah.
tomorrow.
Just let me know. Just send me a text or whatever, and send me a message. Let me know what time you want to do it tomorrow. And
All right, cool, cool, cool.
yeah,
I'll let
yeah,
you
this
know,
was
man.
awesome. And did you want to even talk about the uh Islam fight coming up at all, or is it kind of
Well,
you
yeah,
just want to?
we know. No, we'll touch base on we'll touch base on just our when we first. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think we'll have different parts. Part two will be about Hussein, and
Okay.
then I think part three will talk about how we first met, Muslim, because like
Yeah,
he was at
yeah,
my house when we first met him. We talked and we just connected, and he's a great guy, man. Like he's one of my
yeah,
favorite people.
yeah.
Like still to this day, I reach out to him when he wins. I'm like, good job. When he loses, like he did recently, I'm like, hey, keep your head up because every time he's lost,
Yes,
he's bounced back better.
exactly.
So I know he's gonna be okay.
No, he's a warrior, man. He's like the Dagestani Rocky.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
he's a
enough.
Dagestani Rocky for sure. He always comes back.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, this was awesome. Yeah, just let me know when you want to do it again. We'll do it again tomorrow. I'm glad that people are getting to see this, or if just a few people hear about it, it's awesome. Whoever hears about this is great. And yeah, you can go to Dagestan Diaries, and I'm gonna keep updating that. So I'm gonna add more to it. It's just putting stuff together, like Mo, like editing takes time. So it
yeah,
just takes time to do it, day to day life and so forth. But I'll
yeah.
be adding to that. And I want to make it like a page, like really nice and like something people go to and like also just like learn about
Mhm.
Dagestan and like kind of like everything we've been talking about.
Yeah. All right, man.
All
I'll
right.
meet you tomorrow, bro.
See you tomorrow. All
All
right.
right.
All right, bro.
Take it easy.
You too.